So good evening. You had a test on electric charges and fields, and there were some questions based on charge distribution, charge redistribution, calculation of forces, and some were asking to solve those questions. We'll be solving only those questions, right? Which you might have probably felt bit difficult to solve. ಅವನಷ್ಟೇ ಒಂದು ಎರಡು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅವೆ, ಎರಡು ಮೂರು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅವ್ನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಉಳಿದಿರೋ ಪ್ರಾಬಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಡನ್. ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡನ್ ಇಟ್. ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ 9 ಅದ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ 9, ಐ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರೀಡ್ ಔಟ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್. Two small conducting spheres of equal radius have charges 10 microcoulomb and minus 20 microcoulomb respectively, and placed at a distance r from each other. They experience a force F1. If they are brought in contact and separated to the same distance, they experience a force F2. The ratio of F1 to F2 is 1:8, minus 8:1, 1:2, and minus 2:1. See, this is a problem based on calculation of force between two charges. We know that according to Coulomb's law, force between two point charges is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 divided by R square. From this we can notice that force is proportional to product of magnitude of two charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance. ನಮಗೆ ಈ ರೇಷಿಯೋಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟೂ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್ ಟು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್, and inversely proportional to square of the distance. ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಾಗ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಯಾರ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, it is said that there are two conducting spheres carrying charges 10 microcoulomb and minus 20 microcoulomb. There are two charges, two spheres carrying charges plus 10 microcoulomb and minus 20 microcoulomb, and they experience some force which is F1, and it is said that they are separated by certain distance r, and these two charges experience a force F1, right? The force experienced by these two charges is F1. It is then said that they are brought in contact with each other. The two spheres are brought in contact with each other. See, when two conducting spheres are brought in contact with each other, the total charge on the system, when I say charge on the system, it means the charge on both the spheres. The total charge on the sphere gets equally distributed among the two spheres. Now, the total charge on the system must be 10 microcoulomb minus 20 microcoulomb. This is total charge on the system. 10 minus 20. So total charge ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ plus 20 ತಗೋಬೇಕು, minus 20 ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ minus 20 ನೇ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. 10 minus 20. 10 minus 20 is minus 10. Minus 10 microcoulomb. 10 minus 20 is minus 10 microcoulomb. Right? So this total charge of the system must get equally distributed among the two spheres. However, what should be the charge on each sphere? 10 microcoulomb must be equally divided among two spheres. 2 under 2 pi r. So each sphere will now acquire a charge of minus 5 microcoulomb. Each sphere is going to acquire a charge of minus 5 microcoulomb, right? And once they are brought in contact, charge redistribution occurs and they are placed at same distance again. ಮುಂಚೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಈಗ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಾಗ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಾಗೆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರೋದು ಯಾವುದು? ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ them now is F2. Force between them is F2, and you are asked to calculate the ratio of F1 to F2. F1 to F2 is to be calculated. Can you tell me which quantity is constant in this case? Which quantity is constant in this case? Initially there were two spheres carrying charges 10 and minus 20 microcoulomb. Separation between them was r. These two spheres were brought in contact. Charge redistribution occurs. Net charge on the system becomes minus 10 microcoulomb. This net charge must be equally divided among two spheres. However, each sphere will get minus 5 microcoulomb, and the charges are again separated to the same distance. However, which quantity is constant in this case? Which quantity is constant in this case? ಯಾವ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅದೇ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಾಗೆ ತಗೊಳಿಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರೋ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತವೆ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದಮ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ what will be F1 proportional we know that force between 2 point charges is proportional to product of the charges force between two charges is proportional to product of the charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance because distance in this case is constant we are not taking it into account right solve ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ can you tell me what will be F1 proportional what will be F1 proportional F1 will be proportional to product of the charges 10 into 20 10 into 20 is 200 micro square coulomb square ಮತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಓಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ನಾವು 10 into 20 is 200 attractive ಇರ್ತದ repulsive ಇರ್ತದ ನೋಡ್ರಿ force this is positive charge and this is negative charge so force must be attractive see you take attractive forces as negative and repulsive forces as positive right force between these two charges will be attractive because they are unlike charges attractive force na negative anta tagolli repulsive force na positive anta tagolli conventions nage right so f1 is proportional to 200 units okay what is f2 proportional can you tell me what is f2 proportional f2 is the force between the charges after they are brought in contact and separated. F2 must be proportional to 25. Q1 into Q2. 5 into 5 is 25, right? So 25 units. Because both are like charges. Idu minus 5 microcoulomb, idu minus 5 microcoulomb irodrinda the force between them is repulsive. Repulsive force na positive anta tagolri. Take repulsive force as positive. Now what is the ratio of F1 to F2? What is the ratio of F1 to F2? 25 ones, 25 8. So F1 is to F2 is equals to minus 8 is to 1. This is the answer. So problem can be very simply solved. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ whenever you ask to find out ratio try to find out which quantities are constant and which quantities are varying. Here the charge is varying. Then think how does force depend upon charge? You know that force is proportional to product of charges. Hagadre first case na product of charge ಮಾಡಿ next case nage product of charge ಮಾಡಿ ಅವೆರಡರ ratio ಮಾಡಿ you will get the answer. You will get the answer. Can you tell me what will be the ratio of forces in this case? What will be the ratio of forces in this case? Suppose here are two spheres. Here are two spheres. Say this is 20 microcoulomb plus 20 microcoulomb and this is plus 20 microcoulomb. Plus 20 microcoulomb and plus 20 microcoulomb. They okay. This is 10 microcoulomb plus 20 microcoulomb and plus 10 microcoulomb. They are brought in contact and then they are separated. When the charges are plus 20 and plus 10, the force between them is F1. Once they are brought in contact and then separated to same distance, the force between them is F2. What is the ratio of F1 by F2? What is the ratio of F1 by F2? What is the ratio of F1 by F2? Madboda? By solving this, it will solve it. We will get to know. We will get to know. F1 must be proportional to F1 must be proportional to F1 must be proportional to 20 tens are 200. Force between them is repulsive, like charges are repulsive, positive. Once they are brought into contact and then separated, charge gets uniformly distributed or equally distributed among two charges. Hagan idr mele 15 microcoulomb, idr mele 15 microcoulomb. F2 must be proportional to 15 square, 15 into 15 is 225. 15 into 15 is 225. F1 divided by F2 madri you will get the answer. Right? Simple ಇರ್ತದೆ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿರ್ತದೆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಬಹಳ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ರೈಟ್ ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ 9 can work out in this way. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ You have problem number, can just go to problem number 10. Problem number 10 is also quite simple. There are two equally charged identical metal spheres A and B, and they repel each other with a force F. Andre, they both must be having like charges on them. So, two equally charged identical metal spheres A and B repel each other with a force F. If they are repelling, they both must be like charges. The spheres are kept fixed at distance r. A third identical but uncharged sphere C is brought between them, and it is brought in contact with A and then placed at the midpoint of line joining A and B. The magnitude of net force on C is, it is said that there are two identical spheres carrying charges, say plus Q and plus Q. They are given that they carry equal charges. Let us suppose they are carrying charges plus Q and plus Q, and they are separated by distance r. The first charge is placed at A and the second charge is placed at B. Now, at the midpoint of these two charges, an uncharged sphere C is placed. An uncharged sphere C is brought exactly at the midpoint of these two spheres. This C is then taken in contact with A. This uncharged sphere C is taken in contact with A and then replaced at the midpoint again. Can you tell me what happens when uncharged sphere C is taken in contact with A? A has a charge Q and C is totally uncharged. This is A, this is C. C has zero charge. What is the total charge of the system? Total charge of the system is Q. This total charge of the system must get equally divided among two spheres. After C is brought in contact with A, the charge on A and C must change. The charge on A and C must change. The charge on A or charge at A will now be Q by 2. Charge at C will now be Q by 2. And charge at B will remain unchanged. C was just brought in contact with A and then replaced that C. It was said that before this uncharged sphere was brought at midpoint, the force between the two spheres was F. F question today, F will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q square divided by R square. Correct? Before the uncharged sphere was brought at the midpoint, the force between the two spheres was given as F raised to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q square by R square. Now, an uncharged sphere is brought at the midpoint and is taken in contact with A and then replaced at C. Once uncharged sphere is taken in contact with A, the charge on A will get equally distributed among A and C. But the charge at A becomes Q by 2, charge at C will also become Q by 2. You are asked to find out net force on charge at C. C charge total force to calculate. Can you tell me how many forces will act on charge at C? C hatra iro charge mele ಎಷ್ಟು force act ಆಗ್ತವೆ? C hatra iro charge mele ಎಷ್ಟು force act ಆಗ್ತವೆ? Can you tell number of forces acting on charge at C? Two forces act on charge at C. One due to charge at A and another due to charge at B. Charge at A is positive, charge at B is also positive, charge at C is also positive. So charge at A will repel charge at C. This is F1. Charge at B will also repel charge at C. This is F2. Net force on charge at C is F1 minus F2. Net force on charge at C is F1 minus F2. F1 minus F2. Because they both are acting in opposite directions. F1 F1 will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon. We will write this 1 by 4 pi epsilon as K. Coulomb's constant. ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಾರಿ 1/4 epsilon naught ಅಂತ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಬೇಡ, right? We'll write it as k. So k, what is the force between these two? K, q square by 4, q1 into q2 minus q square by 4 divided by r by 2 whole square. Q square by 4 divided by r by 2 whole square is r square by 4 minus force between these two, force exerted by B on C, K into 1/4 epsilon. Q into q by 2 is q square by 2 divided by distance between these two is r by 2. R by 2 whole square is r square by 4. 4 and 4 gets cancelled. So this will be Fc is equals to k q square by r square. Can you tell me what is k q square by r square? K q square by r square. K under 1/4 epsilon. 1/4 epsilon q square by r square. What is this? 1/4 epsilon q square by r square. 4 get cancels. K q square by r square. What is that? ಈ term ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾ? You know what is k q square by r square? K q square by r square. It is nothing but ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ this term is nothing but f minus k q square divided by 2 ones are 2 twos are 2 ones are 2 twos are 2 ones are 2 twos are. Denominator of denominator goes to numerator. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು numerator ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. K q square by r square. K q square by r square is f into 2. So 2f. So Fc will be equal to minus f. ನಮಗೆ minus n indicates ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು we have to always take greater force minus smaller force. Force cannot be minus. ಇದು f to minus f1 ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸೈನ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ f ಅನ್ನು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. f ಅನ್ನು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. So the net force acting on charge at C is F. The net force acting on charge at C is F. So these kind of problems become quite important. These are based on charge redistribution. Need to properly understand how a charge get redistributed when they are taken in contact with each other. When two charge spheres are taken in contact with each other, right? So try working out these kind of problems. These are important. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ 16 ನೋಡಿ. ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ 16. The centers of two identical small conducting spheres are 1 meter apart. There are two identical small conducting spheres. These are two identical small conducting spheres separated by a distance of 1 meter. They carry charges of opposite kind and attract each other with a force F. These two spheres are said to carry charges of opposite kind and they are attracting each other. It is not given that the two spheres carry equal charges. ಎರಡು ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅವ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಎರಡು ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅವ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ q1 ಇದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ -q2 ಇರಬೇಕು. It is not specified in the problem that both the charges have equal charges. Both the spheres have equal charges ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. So ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? We have to take them to be unequal. ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ +q1 ಇದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ -q2. ಸರ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ +q1 ಇದು -q2 ತಗೊಂಡಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರೆ. ಎರಡು ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅನ್ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ are ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So +q1 -q2 and it is said that they are separated by distance of 1 meter. It is said that they attract each other with a force F. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇವೆರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು? Force F must be proportional to q1 into q2. Force F between these two must be proportional to q1 into q2, right? When they are connected by conducting thin wire, they repel each other with a force F by 3. ಈಗ ಈ ಎರಡು ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ they are connecting these two spheres by a thin conducting wire. When two charged spheres are connected by thin conducting wire, it's like bringing them in contact again. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು? The charge on the spheres must again get equally distributed. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ what should be the charge on each sphere? What should be the charge on each sphere after they are connected by a thin conducting wire? Charge on each sphere must be equally distributed. What is the charge on the entire system? What is the net charge on the system? Net charge on the system is Q1 minus Q2. Q1 minus Q2. This must be equally divided into two spheres. So charge on each sphere must be Q1 minus Q2 divided by 2 and Q1 minus Q2 divided by 2. This must be the charge on each sphere after they are connected by a thin wire. After they are connected by a thin wire, right? ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. Once they are connected by a thin wire, the force between these two is known as F by 3. When they were separated, the force between them was F. Once they are connected by a thin wire, force between them becomes F by 3. Hagadre F by 3 must be proportional to force between two charges must be proportional to product of magnitude of two charges. You are going to multiply Q1 minus Q2 divided by 2 whole square. Force between two charges must be proportional to product of magnitude of two charges. Force between two charges must be proportional to product of magnitude of two charges. Product of magnitude of two charges. Correct alla? ಈಗ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ you are asked to find out the ratio of initial charges. You are asked to find out what is Q1 by Q2. What is the ratio of initial charges? Q1 by Q2 ಎಷ್ಟದೆ find out ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. You are asked to find out ratio of initial charges. See how to do this kind of problems. ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? There are two ways. ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲಾಜಿಕಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ನ ಬಹಳ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ. ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಲೆಂಥಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ಹೌ ಟು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ದಿಸ್ ಲಾಜಿಕಲಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರಲ್ಲ, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡೇ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟೂ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ is proportional to product of magnitude of two charges. Correct alla? Force is proportional to product of magnitude of two charges. Andre if the product of magnitude of two charges increases, if the product of magnitude of two charges increases, force also increases. If the product of magnitude of two charges decreases, force also decreases. Illinda illige andre when the charges are separated and when the charges are connected by a thin conducting wire, what has happened to the force? Whether the force between the charges have increased or the force between the charges have come down. Enagide illinda first situation inda second situation inda what has happened to the value of the force? The value of the force has decreased. By what factor it has decreased? If the force has decreased, by what factor it has decreased? By what factor it has decreased? The force between the 2 point charges has decreased by a factor 3. The force between the 2 point charges has decreased by a factor 3. Hagadre force enna factor 3 inda decrease agಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, for force to decrease by factor 3, the product of the charges must also have decreased by a factor 3. Simple. Force 3 times decrease ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ force is proportional to product of charges. Force 3 times decrease ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ product of charges ಕೂಡ 3 times decrease ಆಗಬೇಕು. Product of charges should also decrease by a factor 3. This is the idea. This is the idea. Force 3 times decrease ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ the product of charges should also decrease by a factor 3. ಈಗ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ what is the ratio of Q1 and Q2 ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರಲ್ಲ, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ 1:1 ಅಂತದೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರೇಷಿಯೋ 1:1. ಅಂದ್ರೆ Q1 and Q2, Q1 by Q2 or Q1 will be equal to Q2 will be equal to Q. ಇವಾಗ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ, Q1 Q ಅದೇ, Q2 is also Q. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ Q1 by Q2 will be 1:1. ಇದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದಾ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. If Q1 is equals to Q2 is equals to Q, what will be F? F will be proportional to Q square. Correct? F will be proportional to Q square. What will be F by 3? What will be F by 3? F by 3 will be proportional to Q1 minus Q2 divided by 2. Q1 and Q2 are equal to Q minus Q. 0 है. अगर F by 3 is proportional to 0. First case in the second case, the product of the charges should have decreased only by factor 3. But it will not Q square 0 ಆಯ್ತು. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ the option 1 is not true. The product of charges should just decrease by factor 3. It is 0 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Q square by 3 ಬಂದಿದ್ರೆ we would have chosen it. But ಹಾಗೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ. So option 1 is not true. Option 1 is not true. We'll go for option 2. Option 2 ಏನಿದೆ? Option 2 ನಾಗೆ we have 2:1. ಅಂದ್ರೆ Q1 is equals to 2Q and Q2 is equals to Q. 2:1 ಅದ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ Q1 must be equal to 2Q. Q2 is equals to Q. Q1 is equal to Q. Q2 is equals to Q. Q1 by Q2 2:1 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇದು ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ. If Q1 and Q2 are 2Q and Q, F must be proportional to 2Q square. F must be proportional to 2Q square. And what must be F by 3 proportional to? F by 3 proportional to 2Q minus Q. Q1 is 2Q and Q2 is Q. 2Q minus Q is Q. Q by 2 whole square. Q by 2 whole square is Q square by 4. Q square by 4. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ 3 times decrease ಆಯ್ತಾ? Has the charge product of charge decreased by 3 times? ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋದು 2Q square. ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋದು Q square by 4. Has the charge decreased by 3 times? ನಮಗೆ product of charge 3 times decrease ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ product of charge have not decreased by 3 times. Instead the product of charge have decreased by 8 times. 8 times decrease ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 2Q square Q square by 4 ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2Q square must be divided by 8, isn't it? 2 1 2 4 ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 8 times decrease ಆಯ್ತು. 2:1 ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ if the charges are in the ratio of 2:1, product of the charge will decrease by factor 8. If product of charges decreases by factor 8, force should have decreased by factor 8. F ಇರೋದು F by 8 ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಮಗೆ F by 8 ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, F by 3 ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ option 2 is also not true. Option 2 is not true. Option 3 ನೋಡ್ರಿ 3:1 ಅದ. Option 3 is 3:1. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ Q1 must be equal to 3Q and Q2 must be equal to Q. We are asked to find the ratio of Q1 by Q2. So Q1 is 3Q. Option ನೇ choose ಮಾಡಿ solution ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡೋದು. Q2 is Q. Q1 by Q2 is 3 by 1. ಇದು possible answer ನೋಡೋಣ. If Q1 is equals to 3Q and Q2 is equals to Q, F must be proportional to 3Q square. F must be proportional to 3Q square. Q1 into 3Q square. What must be the next force proportional? F by 3. F by 3 must be proportional to Q1 is 3Q minus Q. 3Q minus Q is 2Q divided by 2. 2Q divided by 2 whole square. 2 gets cancelled. So F by 3 is proportional to Q square. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಯಿತು? Initially the force was proportional to 3Q square and next the force is proportional to Q square. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಯಿತು? Product of the charge ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಯಿತು? By what factor the product of the charge has decreased? The product of charge has decreased by factor 3. Product of charge has decreased by factor 3. We know that product of charge is proportional to force. If product of charge has decreased by factor 3, the force must also decrease by factor 3. Hagadre the option here is 3:1. 3:1. Right? ಈ ರೀತಿ you can just solve it. Solve ಅಂದ್ರೆ this comes by practice. ಬಹಳ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅನ್ಸಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಈ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾವ, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬರೆಯೋದು, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬರೆಯೋದು, ವೆರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಒನ್ ಪೇಜ್. ನಾವು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಒನ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಅದ್ರ ಬದಲು ಇದೊಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಬರೀರಿ, ಇದೊಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಬರೀರಿ, ರೇಷಿಯೋಸ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನೇ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕೆಲವೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ನಾಗ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ನೀಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ನಾಗೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ನಿಮಗೆ 4 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು 4 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್, ರೈಟ್? ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? These were some difficult type of difficult ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಲಾಜಿಕಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಲಾಜಿಕಲಿ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಗೆ. ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಅನಿಸ್ತದೆ, ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿರ್ತದೆ, ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲಾಜಿಕಲಿ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ. ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಇನ್ನು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಅದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅವ ಹಾಗೇನಿತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀ, ನೋಡೋಣ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಾನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ ದ ಟುಮಾರೋಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ರೇಡಿಯೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್. ಇನ್ನು ಉಳಿದಿರೋ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ. ಲೆವೆಲ್ 1 ಲೆವೆಲ್ 2 ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್. ಲೆವೆಲ್ 1 ಲೆವೆಲ್ 2 ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್, ರೈಟ್? ನಾನು ಅಬೌಟ್ 40 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 20 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಏನೋ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿವಿ ಆ ಕಡೆಗೆ. ಅವ್ನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಬರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್. ಗಾಸ್ ಲಾ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 15 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವು ಗಾಸ್ ಲಾ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವೆ. Gauss law I will take up once you come back to the college. Gauss law I will teach you in the college. Class 1 ನಾನು ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Remaining 15 questions ಆ ಕಡೆ level 2 ನಾವು 65 questions ಏನವೆ. How thought about 50 questions, 40 questions. Even 25 questions they are based on Gauss law. We'll teach them once you come back to the college. And in the next class I'm going to start real nature of radiation and matter. Right? So just go through real nature of radiation and matter chapter. We'll start the synopsis of it and we'll solve the MCQs for that chapter as well. Okay, we'll end this session. ಇನ್ನು ಏನಾದರೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪೇಪರ್ ನಾಗೆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ 1 ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿರಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರಾಗ ಇನ್ನೂ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ದೋಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್. ಈ 3 ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು ನನಗೆ 23 ನಾ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ 23 ಸೆಂಟ್ರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಸೆಂಟ್ರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿನಲ್ಲ. You must just know the distance between vertex and the centroid of a triangle. If this is a triangle, this is centroid. The distance between any vertex and the centroid will be a by root 3. The distance between vertex and the centroid, a and c, the distance will be a by 3. B and c, between B and c, distance will be a by 3. Between C and C, or even O on the centroid, C and O, distance will be a by root 3. It is said that 3 charges plus q are placed at the 3 vertices of a triangle. You are asked to find out the net force on another charge placed at the centroid. ಈ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಿರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಇವೆರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಇವೆರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಅಥವಾ ಇವೆರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ between B and O 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square divided by a by root 3 whole square. We'll call this as F. ಇವೆರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. between B and C and O force will be the same as F or it will be F1. Between C and O force will be F or it will be F1. Notice charges are the same, q and q, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square divided by distance between C and O is also a by root 3. So even the force here will be F. This is 30 degrees. This is 30 degrees. 30 and 120 because sum of angles of a triangle must become 180 degree. If this is 120, even this must be 120 degrees. Hagadre two forces are acting at 120 degree. What should be the resultant of these two forces? Yeah, it must be acting upwards. Okay. ಇವೆರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಇಂದ ಈ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕತೆ ಮುಗಿತಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮುಗಿತಾ ಇಷ್ಟೇನಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್? ಆರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಅನದರ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್? ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮುಗಿತಾ? ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ Q due to charge at P, force on Q due to charge at C. ಇವೆರಡರದ್ದು ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಅಪ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಬಂತು F ಬಂತು. ಇನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. Because of charge at A, there will be force on charge at O. Can you tell me what is force exerted by A on O? Charges are Q and Q. Distance is A by 3. Can you tell me what will be the force exerted by A on O? What will be the force exerted by A on O? Yeah. Upward ala? Upward ala? Upward. Yeah, correct. Upward. Direction of the force. Force exerted by A on O. Upward. No, because this is positive and even this charge is positive, so this must actually repel this. Yeah. And then what is the net force on charge at O? What is the net force on charge at O? What is the net force on charge at O? 0. You solve ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಬರೀ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು if you just draw the vectors you will get the answer. 24th ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 24th. Solve problem number 24. Problem number 24th is GP problem. ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಸರ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ನೋಡಿ ನಿಮಗೆ. We have solved this type of problems. GP problem, geometric progression. Sum of infinite terms of GP ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿನಿ. Infinite charges of magnitude q each are lying at x is equals to 1, 2, 4, 8. ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, x is equals to 1, 2, 4, 8 so on. ಇದು this is the progression. Geometric progression ಅದ arithmetic progression ಅದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Infinite charge ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ geometric progression ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ನೋಡಿ 1 2 4 8 1 2 4 8. This is in GP, isn't it? There is a common ratio. 2 by 1 is 1, 4 by 2 by 1 is 2, 4 by 2 is 2, 8 by 4 is 2, and so on. Infinite charge arrangement problem, that will be a problem on GP. Okay. Infinite charges of magnitude q are placed at x is equals to 1, 2